Okay, all right. Well, welcome back. That was a sitcom with a theme song that said, welcome back. Yeah, once again, this is the Melanin Man, aka a voice of consciousness, saying, welcome back. Remember, welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Well, your dreams are your ticket within, throughout you. Let me say that again. Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. However, your dreams are your ticket throughout you. See, you are the center of the universe. And no question about it. If it weren't for you, none of this would exist. Again, I'll repeat it. If it were not for you, none of this would exist at all. So, that theme song, Welcome Back, is appropriate. Why? Because the Ancient Ones are back. And another part of the song, another part of the theme song goes, well, the names have been changed since you've been around. The names have been changed since you've been around. Ancient Ones. The names have been changed, but the characters are still all the same. The names have been changed, but the characters are all still the same. You are who you are, no matter what the name. Remember, energy, frequency, and vibration. We can't take our minds off of energy, frequency, and vibration. Why? Because your energy, frequency, and vibration. Everything else is a distraction. Anything else is a delusion. Now you can enjoy yourself and partake in the festivities, but don't get lost in your own fantasies, because that's what's happening. This is the place for it, and that's what's happening. So the names have been changed since you've been around. Ancient Ones. The names have been changed since you've been around. Now it's Pookie and Ray Ray, Leroy, Shaquisha. It changed, but the characters are still the same. You're still energy, frequency, and vibration. None of that's changed in the eons of time. None of that's changed. So understand that. It's really irrelevant. It's really relevant to the whole of everything. So I say, welcome back. The ancients. Who are the ancients? You. You are the ancients. The melanated beings, the melanated presence that is the all, is contained throughout you. And if you don't know it, that's why things are the way they are. And they want you to not know it. However, you, being who you are, will figure it out. You'll wake up, get the ball rolling. See, we are the ones, you've heard this so many times before, and I really don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. We are the ones you've been waiting for. Understand, all of the deities in all of the lifetimes over the spectrum of time whatever that is, are the same characters, just different names. And they're the characterization of energy, frequency, and vibration. Remember that. You can't see, when you forget that, you lose sight of who you are, what you are, and why you are. So it's very, 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 very important to hold fast to the memory of you. See, nobody's going to give you what you already have. They can't. Nobody's going to tell you what you already know. They can't. Not to the depths that you know it. And know it you must, because it is you. So let's be clear. You are not a created being. Creation speaks to what? A creature. You are not a created being. Creation speaks to a creature. You're not. You're not a creature. Right? You weren't created. So the narrative that creation and God and all of that, that's to get you off your path. See, that's to have you focusing, using your imagination around a concept, around an idea, around a perspective that is not yours. Again, creation speaks to a creature. And the creature has told you that God, giving you God in place of your reality, and this God is a perspective, is a creation, again, of this creature, and you are not a creature. Everything that you've been given is not 360 degrees, 180 degrees away from where and who you really are. Everything that you've been given. Now you're going to manage and do all right because that's who you are. You'll adapt to anything. You adapt to anything. Melanin can adapt and adjust to anything. And the projected idea of the soul that is the infinite ancient one will make it work no matter what. So you're here in a realm of enjoyment, pleasure, fantasy. There's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself. There's nothing wrong with having experiences that will allow you to get some joy and glean some light. However, when you get lost in that and think that's everything, like stuff over substance, then that's the problem. No substance, all stuff. I got this. Look what I got. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, I got the, and then you're competing. Competition is for the weak. Because a truly strong person stands. No matter who has what and who's doing what. Yeah, okay. And if you're truly integrous, you have respect for whatever someone else is doing. It doesn't have anything to do with you. So, once again, creatures are of a creation. Divinity has no bounds. So divinity has differences. There are differences in different levels of, there's different levels of things, beings. Again, there's different levels. There's one thing to being human, and there's another thing to human beings. There's mankind, or a kind of man. We got to be clear on these things because they mean something. And, you know, it might sound like, oh, that's cliche-ish. Oh, yeah, I heard that before. That's just a saying or phrase. Nothing is just a saying or phrase. There's meaning behind each and every single word, character, alphabet, you name it, everything has meaning. And it's because everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Period. There's nothing that gets past that. You can't get around it. You can't get around the subtle nuances of human being or being human. Now, melanated ones, you are being human. And I say that because, once again, you're energy, frequency, and vibration. However, in this plane of existence, you're being human. Then there's another side of things. There's a human being. You're being human, and then there's a human being. Now, those that are human beings have not encapsulated what that really is, because the DNA is a kind of man, not mankind, a kind of man. And that's the fundamental differences. There's nuances and differences. And please know, melanated ones, we're 180 degrees from the life that we've been dealing with, enjoying to some extent, and got comfortable with. And now it's time to become uncomfortable. Be comfortable with becoming uncomfortable. Because we can see, if you can't by now, you can see that we must do what? Separate the wheat from the tare. You can't go down with that ship. You didn't create it. You didn't build it. You didn't sail it. You didn't captain it. You didn't do anything but ride along. Now what you gonna do? So it's important to know that we are not here to buy into someone else's reality. Again, creation is of a creature. When we talk about creation and God created, and what is God? Where did you get the concept from? Who gave you the idea of what that's about? And then think about it. Who defined it for you? Who defined it for you? Now, if the definition is the same thing as Joe Blow next door, which it is, jealous, envious, why? Why would a deity that is over all be jealous of that which it's over? It's over all, so why jealous of what? When you can have anything, everything, you have it all, you are it all. So what is there to be jealous of? See, that's a fundamental flaw. And it's a telling example of how unclear many people are as to energy, frequency, and vibration. See, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Hence, you're still here. You're still here, and you're still relevant, and you are still the center of the universe. Your universe. You're the center of your universe, and your universe is projecting the universe that we're looking at. So it's a combination of, and we're viewing externally, or they're viewing externally, the universe, and they're studying all of that, and it's great. It's wonderful. However, they can't figure it out because they don't have access to you. See, each one of us are plugged into the all. Each and every one of us melanated ones. I'm talking to the ancient melanated ones, not nobody else. If you're not ancient, if you're not melanated, if you're not the ancient melanated ones, this ain't for you. Plain and simple. It ain't for you. We can say, oh, we're equal, and no, we're not. We're not. We're different. And there's some differences that we must make and take note of. You know, there's no equality. Where's equality? What does that mean? Somebody gave you the definition of that. You can look it up and all that stuff. That don't mean nothing. We're different, and we must respect our differences. And part of respecting your differences is taking hold of, grabbing a hold to that which is, that makes you so. If you don't, then you get lost in somebody else's idea of what you should be, which is what has happened. We are not here any longer. We're not here to play like we're less than, to play like, or act like, or let's pretend that someone else is better, someone else. No such thing. There's no such thing as better in divinity. Divine presence, the divinity that is. And everything has its place in the space of divinity. There's no better. There's no worse. It's just differences. And when we come to terms with that, when we can wrap our minds around that, then we'll be able to move a lot freer and be a little more liberated. Because the incarceration or the incarcerative ideas is what's keeping you locked down. Your level of incarcerated ideas. Let me just tell you that we are supposedly in the Milky Way or getting close to it, if not already there, and just going into it and got to the center of it yet. But you know, there's a lot of energy that is flooding throughout the universe, not just Earth. And the sun is ejecting and sending out solar flares, and then the new moon and the supermoon. All these things have energetic powers that's being transmitted to this planet and throughout the universe, and it's touching everything, not just out there, in here, all of this, in and out. We're not limited in no way, shape, or form. So if you experience subtle emotional ups and downs, or if have you been hearing ringing in the ears, ringing in both ears, one ear the ringing got louder, or if you got clearing in your nasal passages, even though they seem like they stopped up, but there's an influx of clarity through your nasal. If your eyes been of adjusting or blurring and then getting clear, and what else? Voice changing, fluctuations, feeling weak and kind of like woozy, a little dizzy spells here and there, nothing enough to knock you down, but just kind of equilibrium is off. Mother Nature is rebalancing itself and everything. If you're feeling stuff, it's not stuff to go to the doctor. Your heart flutters or fluttering. Listen, I feel hot and cold at the same time. That's a level of sensitivity to the environment. Feeling hot and cold. And then I can stand hotter water than I've ever been able to stand before, and it not bother me. Use it, wash my hands with it, and it doesn't feel the same. It's not as intensely burning hot, like, oh, I can't, that's too hot. No, it doesn't. I've stuck my finger in some scalding hot water, and all I did was pull my finger out, look at it, no lasting pain, no scald. There's biological changes, among other things. Everything is changing, and you cannot think that it's going to continue to be the way a creature told you it would be. You're accepting the ways of a creature. This is a created being. I'll just say created being, okay? Maybe a creature is harsh, okay. I do have compassion, but I do also have compassion for the many minds that have been seduced into the ideas of the few that are not locked into a reality that's going to liberate. That's what we got to do. We got to lock our minds into a reality that's liberating, not a reality that's incarcerating. We've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, sold the popcorn. We was out there selling tickets door to door. We're done with that. We're done with that. That is over. If you don't know it's over, then I don't know what to tell you. You want to experience more? Go right ahead. This is the time. Well, time not really existing. So this is the experience that I would like to have. And I must be honest. I'm speaking from my experience. I'm speaking from what I understand about what this is all about. And I'm doing it for me. Oh, you got to give the people and the people this and the people that. Everybody makes their own choices. Everybody. You can want something for your children, but they can grow up and say, yeah, I don't want that. So then you got to get to a place where you do what you do because you love what you do, as you are loving your experience. And if you want to record it, so be it. If somebody picks up that recording and say, you know what, I can relate to that, or I can resonate with that, or whatever, so be it. That's how it works. This ain't about me thinking I'm better or I'm doing more for you. I'm trying to teach you something. Somebody tell you something you ain't never heard before. That ain't teaching. Somebody tell you something you haven't heard before. You don't know it. You heard it. You don't know it. How do you know it? You know it when you experience it. See, we got it all mixed up, construed, just really, it's a crazy thing to try to unravel a whole lot of stuff that we've been given over eons of time. And then all of a sudden, here this guy come, talking about he's the melanated man, aka a voice of consciousness. And now he's saying, ain't nobody teaching you nothing. Just because they tell you something don't mean you know it. You know it when you experience. The only way you know something is you experience it. And we're in the time to knowing. The reason why people say I believe is because somebody told them something and they decided they would accept that. So they believe. We're not there anymore. That phase of stage of time has passed. You either know it or you don't. And you can perpetrate and act like you know something if you want. However, at some point, it will be revealed that you don't know what you're talking about. And even more so, the presence of all that you already are as a soul will tell that person if that's factual or if that's meaningful or whatever it is, that it will be revealed within the person that's listening to whatever's going on. So we have a vested interest in ourselves. Melanated, ancient melanated ones. Again, I'm only speaking this. I ain't trying to get no friends. I don't care if you follow. I'm not looking to be a leader. I'm not trying to do anything but share what I know. That's all. I'm sharing what I know. I'm not sharing what I believe. I'm not sharing what somebody told me. I'm sharing what I know. I've meditated for over 30 years. Do a little yoga here and there. Sun gaze. Walk barefoot in the grass, speaking to the elders within me, hug trees and give energy and listen to what they have to say. I mean, these are real things that I do, not things I've heard somebody else say they do and what you'll get from it if you do it. No. So whether you know me or not, you don't know me, it doesn't matter. What matters is if you're listening to this, you resonate with the reality and the truth of it. What matters is that you know that your energy, frequency, and vibration. Remember, energy can never be created, nor can it be destroyed. Now, we know there's a creation amongst us, and we know that that which was created has ultimate, seemingly have usurped and controlled the dynamics of what's called the world order. That's a creature. That's a creature. We got to be clear on that. You know, we should not be eating. Yeah, I said it. We should not be eating. Because we get our sustenance. We get our sustenance from everything that is. The sun, the air, the trees. Things are going to change back to when that time was such that the air was full of the sustenance that is. See, it's important for the creature to pollute the environment so that you, Ancient Melanin Ones, won't be accessing the fullness. However, you have a consciousness, you have an imagination, and through your imagination, your consciousness is being fed or feeding your imagination so you can overcome those things. You can overcome the urge to eat. So start a little fast, 3 days here, 7 days here, you know, do so many days, however many days you can, and then come back lighter and lighter every time. Every time you come fast, do some lighter foods, do some things that's more alkaline-based, alkalinated water, or put some key lime in the water to alkalinize it. Key lime in spring water. Don't use the distilled water. It's dead. If it's dead, then what is it going to do for you? There's no minerals. There's nothing in it. Water has something in it, and if it's not processed in any of the forms that they give you, then you're gonna. If it's not processed, you'll be good. But distilled water, nah. So make sure you understand that it's a lot of this stuff that is at hand right now. Right now. Right now. Not, well, you know, in the by and by, when Jesus come, and who is that? Someone you've been given. An idea that you've been given. A particular perspective that you've been given. They tell you who it is, and they give you the background, and they share with you. So basically, let's think about it. Let's break it down again. History. A story that's from his perspective. Let's be clear on these things. We gotta like take all of the fluff off. We gotta like boil all the fat off and get to the meat of it. History is a story. His story is a story based on his perspective. Not yours. So all of what we've been given we must divest ourselves. Sounds harder than what it really is. It's really not that hard. Start paying attention. Start seeing it for what it is. Stop buying into everything that someone tell you, and do your own due diligence. And that's internally too. That's internally first, because your energy, frequency, and vibration. And so your energetic resonance is going to align with or not. That's really important. That's key. That's critical. You're going to align with something that is for you or not. Now it's up to you to make a decision. Do you want to go there or not? So let's be clear. You are not created. God didn't create you. Energy, frequency, and vibration. Energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. Energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. Energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. You are a soul, ancient melanated one. Only talking to you. Anybody else ain't gonna relate to this, ain't gonna understand, not gonna have a clue. That's what I'm talking about. It's gonna be way over their head or somewhere out in left field to them. But your soul is seated outside of time, projecting you as the image that it chose to have the experiences in this plane. And some may have played a little too long, got too caught up. The street lights came on and they still out there playing. Hey, it's time to come in. It's time to come home. No, you did okay. You had your fun. Now it's time to come home. And this is where we are now. So that the only people I'm talking to is the melanated ones. The only people I'm talking to is ancient melanated ones. Not talking to anybody else. Don't care if you like it, don't care if you like me, don't care if you like and do anything, follow me, follow this, da da da. I don't care, that's not my purpose. See, again, we have to divest ourselves 180 degrees. Notice I didn't say 360 degrees, that'll put you right back where you started. 180 degrees. We must divest ourselves from the system that we've come to know, and in some cases love. Nothing wrong with it, to the extent that you enjoy what you enjoy, and when it's time to quit, it's time to quit. When it's time to say, okay, see you later. When it's that time, it's that time. And we have to do that completely, wholly, sincerely, genuinely, and authentically. We have to do that. So it's important that we know it's important that we know these things. It's important that we be really clear on these things. It's important that if you're sincere and you're genuinely, authentically, for certain that you want to embrace fully, because it's one thing to embrace yourself. It's another thing to embrace yourself fully. You gotta let some of this stuff go. You gotta let it all go. You gotta let it go. You can like it, you can love it, but at some point you gotta give it up. Everything has a shelf life. Everything has a shelf life. Everything has a shelf life. The life that we've come to know, it has a shelf life. the life that we've lived has had its time. The life that the creatures have lived or the creations have lived, they've had their time. Now, it's time to come home. Only talking to the melanated ones, only talking to the melanated ancient ones, because the ancient ones are you, me, we, as one with the all. That's what I'm talking to. If you don't understand what I'm saying, don't worry about it. Play this 2 or 3 times, maybe you get it. Maybe it'll come to you. I don't really care. That's not my my concerns are with unlocking the codes and the syntax and the codex within me to release all of myself. Allow all of me to be plugged in, and I'm consciously connected to all that I'm plugged into. That's what I'm on. To be fully transformed by the knowing of the one. That's where I'm at. It's a lot of stuff going on, and I enjoy and participate to some extent. I ain't gonna lie and say I don't, but I am gonna say that what takes precedence is none of that. You think about it. The TV, the movies, the programming, it's all, what is it? Everything is a formula. They take different people, plug them into the same storyline, and you watch the movie, and then they run this movie again 10 years, 20 years, whatever later. Same movie, different people, same storyline, and this is entertainment. Well, understand something, family. That's really how this is what's really going on with us. All of the deities that we've come to know are you. Different name. All of the deities that we've come to know that you've been taught about are you. They ain't telling you it's you. Can't tell you that. You have to know it and go within and identify with it and question so that you can be familiar with it. But you are not given an idea unless it's through your spirit. So we must know and not question what we know, meaning being unsure of. We must know it and move like we know it. When you know something, you don't doubt it. You don't have to question. When you don't know something and you think it only, then there's a big question mark. So, Ancient Melanin ONES, I'm here, the Melanin Man, aka a voice of consciousness, giving thanks humbly, lovingly, genuinely, authentically to those that receive this. I thank you. I thank you so much for calling and sending emails and texting saying, oh, what happened? You're not doing the show, you're not doing all those things, question. I thank you. Yes, took a little hiatus, again, because of the biological changes and some of the experiences that was going on. You know, I wanted to process. I wanted to get clear on what I was going through, physically, emotionally, psychologically, you know, and make the necessary adjustments. And so in doing so, it brought me to a place and space of more peace, of more humility, more understanding, clarity. So I thank you. Once again, if you want to drop a line, you can go to I have an email, getyouritogether@gmail.com. That's a pretty easy one. I have a email address with Proton Mail. Can't remember it right now. That shows you how plugged in I am with that stuff. This is not something this internet thing performs a service, and is not one that I'm on a regular basis. So I must say that. But anyway, 786-759-0180, 786-759-0180. If you want to talk to the Melanin Man, aka A Voice of Consciousness, 786-759-0180. All right. Again, much love, honor, and above all, respect your power. Respect your presence. And release yourself and leave anyone that doesn't. Because you are worth it. You are definitely necessary in the whole scheme of everything that is. Because if you wasn't, you wouldn't be here. So you have to move like you know this. Walk tall with a straight back and be clear on what it is that's a fact. Melanated, ancient melanated ones, I give thanks, honor, and above all, respect to those that I am and those that are me. Peace.